This is the Sophia bracelet that we're going to make. We're going to be making this one. And this is just showing it in a few different color schemes. And this is the 3-color version of the pattern. And this only requires 6 and 11/0 Toho seed beads. And also this bracelet works nicely as a wrap bracelet. So if you double the length. I like this pattern because it's really easy and really fast to make and only requires seed beads. You can also make a slightly smaller version using 11 and 8 check seed beads. And this is an example of how you can also make this one in a wrap bracelet. This also shows the pattern in 2 colors, whereas the Toho versions that I've made have been 3 colors. So you can use either. To make this bracelet in 3 colors, you need an inside color, an outside color, and an accent color. So in this example, the inside color is black, the outside color is dark gold, and the accent color is aqua. And for the bracelet we're going to make today, you need 6/0 Toho seed beads, the accent color, the inside color, and the outside color. And in the same outside color, you also need 11/0 Toho seed beads. And you're also going to need a couple of jump rings and a clasp. Optionally, you can also make this bracelet using 11/0 check seed beads and 8/0 check seed beads, the same pattern. This would be the 2-color version where the accent and the inside color is the same. And that will end up looking like this. And if you compare it in size, you can see that the check version is a little smaller, but looks just as nice. So you can also make these bracelets longer, double the length for a wrap bracelet if you want. They work nicely that way. But we're going to make the Toho version today, and so let's get started. Here I have a size 10 needle that I'm using with 6-pound fire line, and I'm going to start off with 4 inside colors, an 11/0 outside color, 6/0 outside color, accent color, and then another 6/0 outside color and 11/0. And I will string that on, and I'll go back through it to form a loop. Then tie a knot. Then I will go back up through all of the inside colors, 2 at a time. And here's where my repeating pattern starts. Here I've put on 2 inside colors, an 11/0 and 6 of the outside color, an accent color, and then a 6 and 11/0 of the outside color. And I'm going to string that on. And I'm going to go back up through the 4 inside colors. Again, I put on 2 inside colors, an 11/0 and 6/0 of the outside color, the accent color, and then a 6 and 11/0 of the outside color. And I'll string that on, and then go through the last 4 inside colors. Let's do that again. Again, I put on 2 inside colors, an 11-0 and 6 of the outside color, an accent color, a 6 and 11 of the outside color, and string that on. Then I go through the last 4 inside colors. Again, I put on 2 inside colors, an 11-0 and a 6 of the outside, accent outside, and then another 11-0. String that on and go back up through the last 4 inside colors. Okay, and you just repeat that to the length of the bracelet. Don't worry at this point if things flip around like this. It'll all straighten out when you do the next row, which does some outside stabilization. So I'm going to keep continuing this to the length of the bracelet. Okay, I've continued to about 6.5 inches because I want about a 7-inch bracelet, and the clasp will add that last ½ inch. So now I'm ready for the second row. And here's where we will start doing the outside, finishing off the outside color around in both sides. So here I'm coming out of that, this center color. I'm going to go back up through the 2 outside colors. I'll put on 3 11-0s and then skip the accent bead and go through the next 4 outside colors. Again, I put on 3 11-0s, skip the accent bead, and go through the next outside colors, the next 4 of them. Put on 3 11-0s, skip the accent bead, and go through the next outside colors. You can do 2 and 2 at a time, or if you can go through all 4. Great. Put on 3 11-0s and go through the next 4 outside color beads. Okay, so we just continue that till we get to the end and show you how to turn it around. Okay, I finished one side, and what I want to do here when I come around and start this side is I want to add an 11-0 seed bead right here. Now, so I would go through these 2 inner ones, add an 11-0, and then continue that pattern all the way. However, if you had done this side first, it all depends on if how many, if you did an even or odd number of the pattern. If I was doing this side first and I wound up here, I'd want to add the bead here before going through these and continuing the pattern. So it just depends on how your end looks. But for me right now, because I ended here, I'm going to go through the inside colors, then on the end I'm going to add an 11-0 seed bead and go through this outside color, these 2 outside color beads. And now I can continue the pattern. Add 3 11-0s, skip the accent bead, and go through the next 4 outside colors. Put on 3 11-0s, skip the accent, and go through the next 4 outside colors. Put on 3 11-0s, skip the accent, go through the next 4 outside colors. And I'll just continue that to the end of the bracelet. Okay, I'm on my last one for this side, and I skip the accent and go through the next 2 outside colors. And because I'm not on this end, I'm not on the ending component, I'm going to add 1 11-0 before going through the 2 inside colors. And that's pretty much the bracelet. So to end it, I just need to weave it back through and tie a knot. So I'm just going to do that. Try to turn some corners. And here is a good place, because there's a thread between these 2 11-0s, to put my needle under that thread between the 11-0s and tie a knot. Then I can snip it. And that's the finished. I need to snip the other side as well, but that's the finished bracelet, and all we need to do is add the jump rings and the clasp. Okay, so now we just open the jump ring, feed it through the last 6 large seed bead, 6 or 8 depending on if you're using Toho or check. Add the clasp and close it. And we'll do the same thing, except for just a jump ring on the other side for it to hook to. Take your jump ring and open it. Feed it through that last large seed bead at the end. And close it. And that is the finished bracelet.